Hey, so now we're inside of the actual flows video itself. So in this video, we're going to take you through just some of the UI within inside of the Flow Builder, just to show you some of the actual features and the tools that are contained within inside of the flows themselves. So whether you're creating onboarding flows, free trial registration flows, nurturing flows, or whatever it may be, okay, this is where you're going to start everything here. So if you look at the screen right now, okay, on the top left hand side you'll see the tab flows, and it will open this dashboard here. So you'll see that we can start creating folders, and we would advise always create folders for your specific flows. Otherwise you're just going to end up with a complete mess if you're creating tens and tens or hundreds of flows with inside of here. So especially if you're building for, say, onboarding or user acquisition flows, then you've got retention flows, consideration flows, supporting flows, all those types of different things. You'll be able to find them really quickly with inside of each individual folder. Also, you can come in here and you can just search by the subflow name itself, okay, and then here then you can see which type of flows that you've created, whether it's web, workflow, or function flows, okay, or auto update flows, install flow templates, all those kind of crazy things. All right, so first off, what we do is we just go in and create a folder just to show you how to do it. So I'm just going to put in here a lead acquisition flow, okay, inside of there. So inside of that folder then we can create then subfolders to have everything in, or you're just going to go ahead and click on the new sub flow. So let's go in and start creating our very first flow and take a look at some of the UI elements within inside of the Flow Builder itself. So let's go ahead and just name this. So I'm just going to put on here, let's just put on trial registration. Okay, something simple like that. Okay, so you'll see what this menu here, which says web, workflow, or function flow, and we'll come on to that shortly. All right, so let's go ahead and just create inside of a normal flow. And like I said, if you're building with inside of the omnichannel, whatever we build with inside of here will work across multiple channels automatically for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a look at the UI elements with inside of the Flow Builder. Okay, so first off, what we'll do is we'll start up on the top left hand side here. Okay, so here then we have like the publish or edit button here. Okay, so if it's published, you will see then edit. So if you're inside of the flow and you're trying to think, hey man, I can't edit this thing, why can't I? Just quickly check up there and it will say edit. Click on the edit and then you can start editing your flow. So in the three little dots here then, okay, here then you can rename the flow. You just saw me just name that flow. Okay, you can go in and change that with inside of here. Okay, you can save the entire flow as an image, so if you need to send it off to somebody or you need to send to us, if you've got a problem with a flow, then you can use that then to download the image and send to us, no problems. Okay, so changing the themes, I spoke about this in the dashboard orientation, where you can change the actual UI of the Flow Builder itself to, you know, to just to have it however you want to. So there's 11 different types of themes here. As you can see, when we flick through, you've got like dark mode, and you'll see like the pop-outs. Okay, they're in slightly different areas, like we have here on the right hand side and also at the bottom. Okay, in the banana theme, okay, it's a slight off grey, darker greys, and again the navigation at the bottom, and you can scroll through to whichever one that you prefer. But we prefer Jelly Bean, and most of our users prefer Jelly Bean. All of our tutorials are done in Jelly Bean, just to make it coherent across everything that we do anyway. Okay, so here then you can just go in and apply changes. All right. Okay, so that's that little bit done there. Okay, here then is you can hide the flow overview. So if we take a look at the bottom left hand side, this is the flow overview, where you can quickly navigate to different parts of your automation flow in there. Okay, what else do we have in here? Hide the tooltips. Okay, you can turn them on or off. That's just when you go into the individual features. If there's a video allocated to that tooltip, just to show you how to use that tool, you can turn those off if you want to. I don't see the reason why, but some people, you know, do have them turned off. Here then you can duplicate your flow. Okay, you can also duplicate it back when you're in the flow dashboard anyway. switch to publish, delete the subflow, and revert to publish. All right, let's get into the main bulk of this video then. All right, so here then we have add in a new step. So if I just click on this, then these are the types of steps, or these are the features that you'll be using to actually build your automations flows. So we have sending messages. It's more than just sending messages. Questions, this is where we're going to store information, phone numbers, emails, or any type of custom information. Actions, okay, this is where you can trigger different types of actions, i.e. like the integrations, automations, there's absolute tons in there. Conditions, so this is like the conditional format, if then else type of formats there. Split conditioning, so here then you can, it works exactly the same as A/B split testing, but you can have multiple splits inside that. And then we have the send email, so you can send emails directly from the flows depending on the user's engagement and actions. Okay, it doesn't have to specifically come from our own inbuilt email. Okay, you can trigger your own emails from your own email provider in there. And go to is basically where at the end of flows you can have, or in between flows you can have it, if a user gets to a specific point in one of your automations, you can navigate them straight to a completely different flow if needed. Okay, and then the comments part here, then this is just where you can add like sticky notes on the actual flow build itself, okay, inside of the UI. So if you've got teammates that you're actually building with, you can just update some progress within there, or just highlight some information parts about that specific flow. Or if you're building flows for your clients yourselves, okay, if you have your users who you'd love to use FlowChat, you can build them pre-built automations, okay, so they can come into FlowChat and use them themselves, which is integrated with your software. Okay, so it's pretty in-depth. All right, here then is just the zoom in, zoom out, and you can also zoom in, zoom out with the scroll on the mouse. Also, here then we have the auto arrange steps. So once you've created all of your flows, it might be just dotted everywhere, but we're quite OCD when it comes to flow building. We like everything aligned, so it's all nice. Okay, but some people, they just go in and chuck all the nodes everywhere, but then they just use the auto arrange and it will just configure it all nicely for them. And here then you can just come in and search different parts of the flow if you can't be bothered to scroll around, or if you have really large flows, then it will navigate to those specific steps for you. All right, let's go ahead and take a look into the actual flow build itself. Okay, so each individual element is called a node. They just start, they're just little nodes, so you can have multiple nodes within inside of your flow. So you can add additional nodes by either selecting on this input here, so you can add the send message, questions, actions, or you can right click on the screen, okay, and it will do that also, or you can simply just left click on the circle on here, okay, and release, and then you will see the contents block, okay, come down here where we can send messages and things like that. Okay, so let's take a look at the let's just close on that. Let's just take a look at inside of the send message block itself then. So when you open one of the subsections like send messages, actions, conditions, okay, it will pop up with this brand new taskbar on the right hand side, and in here then this is a sort of like send messaging features that we have inside of here. So you can send text, you can send visual gallery cards, so users can scroll through them. They're great for things like video series, or if you've got tons of downloads or resources, or you want to link out to different parts of your website, or different help documentations, or even downloads and resources, then you can use gallery cards for those too. Rich media is things like videos, audio files, locations, image, stickers, GIFs, all those types of cool things that you can add in there. You can also add in a YouTube URL, and it will play the YouTube video with inside of the actual feed itself too. For each, we won't go into that, that's more of a developer side of thing. Basically what that does in a nutshell is you can have a ton of array data and build out galleries dynamically based on specific information. I know it sounds crazy, but just imagine something like a Google Sheet where you've got an entire database of, let's just take for example, e-commerce. E-commerce, you have all your product IDs, product names, product images, links, so on and so on. You can pull all of that data into the chatbot framework, okay, so your users can scroll through all your different products, go in and purchase directly within inside the chatbot, all built from something like a Google Sheet. Or if you're using API, you can pull in tons and tons of user data from the API and generate personalized galleries based on that specific user. So it has hundreds of different use cases. All right, so others then is things like sending out customer feedbacks, okay, one-time notifications, single products, multiple products, catalogs, mini app cards, and a type-in effect here. So this is just like, so you can put some like reality type UX with inside of there. So instead of just automatically replying to the users, you can put a bit of timing delay in there, so they're waiting for the response to come through. Okay, so dynamic content, again, we won't go into that. That's more in the developer series. You can hop over into the developer series and see more what you can do with the for each and also the dynamic contents. E-commerce, if you're using our internal e-commerce, then you can use like the products and the shopping cart, so you can, you know, you can display again tons and tons of products on there. Debugging text, we won't go through that one, and these are Telegram and Facebook specific anyway, by sending out notifications or promotional messages based on confirmed event updates and different things like that. So that's pretty much sending a message in a nutshell. Okay, so let's go ahead and add another node. So we're going to take a quick look inside of the question, inside the question block. Okay, everything is documented in our help docs anyway, so you can go into the main navigation dashboard, okay, and go down to the help documentation, and you'll see tons and tons of documents based on literally every single module within inside of each one of these nodes anyway. All right, so here then we have text, so you can ask a user for general text, okay, so they can text something in and you can save that information. Again, with numbers, email addresses, okay, so let's just click on email for now. So here then you could say, hey, what's your email? Okay, question mark. And then you're going to save it to a specific custom field like we mentioned before. Okay, here then you can auto opt them in for the emails. Then you can send out emails via the system and also inside of the live chat itself. So when you've got tons and tons of users coming in live chat, if you need to speak to them over email, then you can, because they've already opted in. Okay, so something simple like that. So let's just come back out of that one. Let's just go back into the question node again. Let's take a look what else is in there. So URL, so if you need to ask for a link, a phone number, specific dates, okay, so if you want them to select a date, then you can. Date and time, choice, so like a list of choices they can choose from, locations, and also things like rich media. So if you require, you know, image or audio or video files from your users, then you can go ahead and ask them. And if they send like an audio file instead of video, say, hey, no, I wanted a video file, not an audio file. So you can kind of do that in there. All right, so that's the question blocks. All right, let's go on to the next one. So next one is the actions. So actions is really, really big because this is where the main brunt of things happen. So if we take a look inside of basic actions, there is absolute tons. So here then you can automatically add tags, remove tags, add multiple tags, JSON operations, which we speak about in the developer series, all the way coming down to pausing the bot automation, and literally so much more inside of there. Advanced actions, okay, as it says on the tin, some of these tools are a little bit more advanced for some users. So external requests, so let's take for example somebody has entered their email address, then you can send a HTTP request out to your API, and it will pull back that data to see, you know, for example, if that user has signed up on a free trial or not. Those type of different things there, or if you need to create example HTTP requests to other softwares to post, get, respond, delete, or whatever it may be, you can do that inside of there. Smart delays, this is where you can simply just like delay the flow. So if you want like an hour waiting, then you can then trigger the next message an hour later. JavaScript functions, sending SMSs directly from the flow, set the languages, setting personas. There's absolute tons in here. Logging the custom events, which we speak about in the acquisition series. Again, we've moved to boards, so these are the pipeline boards, which is like the Trello. Again, we speak about that in the acquisition series 2. Let's take a look down here. So things like Facebook API, Instagram API, WhatsApp, and the Google My Business API, they all have their individual functions. So if we just quickly take a look at the Facebook API here, so this is the type of thing that you'll see, like this big drop down. So here then we have like the page API, so you can do things like listing page posts, getting page posts, getting comments, replying to comments, updating comments. So then we come into like the ads section. Okay, so we've got like the lead gen, we've got the get lead form questions. Okay, we spoke about that before in the other video about getting rid of things like Zapier, Make, and Pabbly to sort that information out for you, where it goes from a Facebook ad to a lead form, then using a third party, then adding it to your CRM, whereas this does it all for you with inside of here. The Facebook groups, inside of there, again, you can go ahead and create posts based on people's actions. For example, somebody signs up on a free trial, again, for your SaaS business. Then what you can do then is you can post inside of the group and say, hey everybody, so-and-so's just signed up for a free trial. But we go more about that in the peer-to-peer growth. I think that's in the retention series, so look forward to that one. And then we have more on the Facebook ads API here, so where you can create custom audiences. Okay, again, we call these micro audiences, so where you're able to really create micro custom audiences. If you're running Facebook ads or Meta ads, you're able then to do it based on specific actions within inside of the chatbot, or specific engagements that come through. So it's very, very in-depth and very, very robust. Okay, and that's pretty much all I'm going to go through with the advanced actions here. Integrations, then you'll see that we have all the integrations here. Well, they're not all here, some are inside of the mini apps, and if you do use mini apps, or you've created a mini app yourself, you'll see that you'll have your mini app at the bottom here, so you can select it when you're creating your flows. But here then we have things like the OpenAI. If we just come into the OpenAI ChatGPT, you'll see it's pretty comprehensive, and we go through this in the AI series anyway, by creating chat completions, embeddings, creating intents, which are absolutely amazing. Vision, which is image to text, speech to text, listing files, creating assistants, threads, messages, runs. There's absolute tons inside there. So you can, going off tangent, you can literally create your very own language model with inside of here if you wanted to. All right, let's come out of that before I go down some crazy rabbit hole. Okay, so as you can see then, so these are the types of different actions you can do with inside of the flows. Here then is notifications. So if you need to send a notification, i.e. to Slack, to notify yourself, one of your team members, that some specific action has happened with inside of the flow, then you can go ahead and do that. And if you're saving content, i.e. text format or URLs or emails, you can add all of that information into that notification too. So before the agent goes into whatever it may be, like a support chat query or whatever it may be, okay, they can actually view all that data before they go in. Okay, and you'll see here we've got like Facebook notifications, live agent notifications, and so much more. And e-commerce, we won't dive right into e-commerce. Okay, this is if you're using our e-commerce in here. Okay, it also works on the WooCommerce and Shopify integration anyway, but you'll see inside of our e-commerce you can create entire e-commerce stores inside and sell your products and stuff like that. So if you do have like a promotion for your SaaS business, like a lifetime deal or some type of Black Friday, Cyber Monday type deal, then you could actually go ahead and create that in there, link that with your API, get it all squared away, and it's all done and dusted. Really, really simple. Okay, or even if you're selling courses, you can sell a course directly through here, enroll them in the course, and even deliver the course via chat if required. Okay, so right, that's actions. All right, so next one we're going to take a look at is in the conditions. So this is like conditional formatting. So if so and so, let's take for example, if the tag is following contains any of that, or we could have, let's just say, if email, okay, is Okay, so we could do things like has any value, then it'd be like yes or no, and then we can send them off into different parts of the actual chatbot flows there. So I kind of guess that you kind of understand how to use conditioning anyway. It's the same as like email conditioning. Have they opened the email? Have they signed up for a free trial? Yes, no, those type of things inside of there. Okay, and you can create multiple stacked conditions too. Okay, let's go on to the next one, which is split. So this is like A/B split testing, but multivariant testing, as kind of we like to call it. Okay, so here would be like a variant. As long as it adds up to 100%, okay, you can add multiple events inside of here. So let's go to here. We're going to add another variant, which is B. Okay, and then we just keep coming down, keep adding all this, and then you can save the picked or the selected field, okay, to a specific custom field, and then you can reroute your users then off to different types of responses, okay, and this will just automatically just keep going through that there. All right, let's just take a look at the next node, okay, which is like sending the email. So here then you'd select your email profile. Obviously we haven't got one connected on here, so it would be like SMTP, Gmail, or whatever it is that you're using. Okay, here then you can add the email that you want to send it to by simply just adding in the field, okay, which is really simple. Done. You can use one of the pre-built templates that we have inside of the contents tab, or you can just go ahead and let's just say thank you, your trial starts today, maybe. Okay, and then you can go in like pre-header, add in headlines, text, images, buttons, add in attachments. First time open, so you've got some conditioning rules here. So if they open it for the first time, then you can send them another message if you need to. So that really comes down to whatever you want to do inside of there. And that was pretty much about it then, apart from the go-to. So again, like I said, is if you need your users to go to a specific part or a different flow within inside of your chatbot, then you could do that there. You simply just click on that, select your flow or nodes in current flow. As you see, I can send it back to like my question 2, or I can send it back to the send email, okay, or any node. So here then we have all of the nodes, okay, or a different subflow if you need to. And this is why it's important to create flow folders so you can find all of your stuff really fast, okay. Really simple. So that's pretty much the flow builder in essence. And we talk more specifically about creating like lead acquisition flows, retention flows, consideration flows, and more converting flows as we progress through those specific episodes, because every single business is totally different, and for us just to show you one type of flow, okay, that would be kind of wrong of us, because everybody has different things. Like you may ask for email right at the beginning of a flow, or you might ask for an email right at the end of the flow, or you might want to add somebody to your CRM once they've filled out all the questions, okay, or you want to add someone to the CRM as soon as you get their email, okay. So again, there's so many possibilities that you could actually create with inside of the flow builder. This is why we don't use this video just to dedicate and show you how to actually build a flow, but we've just shown you all of the tools that you can utilize to your advantage inside of the conversational AI automation inside of Flow Builder itself. But if you do have any questions about specific parts of a flow, always be sure to reach out to us via the support chat, or you can always refer to our documentation where we have tons and tons of info in there, all about like the different parts of the flows, how they work, how they function, and things like that. But as we progress through all of these series, you'll understand that it will start opening your mind to what is actually possible, rather than just using a chatbot or building one specific flow, okay. And then hopefully by the end of this series, you see the power that FlowChat can actually give you and your SaaS business, and give your users a great experience, because that's kind of what it's all about. And hopefully you're getting a great experience from us too. All right, we'll see you in the next video.